Today we're going to talk about how to figure out a key signature by using a scale. First, a question. What key signature has 0 sharps and 0 flats? The key of C. If you did not remember this, it's okay. And I know I have a simple trick to help your memory. First, you form your hand in the shape of a 0 and say 0 sharps, 0 flats. Then you open your hand slightly to make the letter C. So you do this. 0 sharps, 0 flats, key of C. 0 sharps, 0 flats, key of C. It's pretty easy. It's a great mnemonic device, but I'd like you to understand why the key of C has no sharps or no flats. So on your instrument, you learned the notes for the C scale by using whole steps and half steps. So watch, here's C, D, E, half step F, G, A, B, half step C. But it's kind of confusing to see whole steps and half steps on string instruments. So to get a clearer picture, we're going to look at the piano keyboard. The piano keyboard is made up of white keys and black keys. The white keys are all the natural notes. The black keys are your sharps and flats. So how do we know the names of the notes? Well, here's C, and if you go up a half step, we want to make a C sharp. So you go to the next key, which happens to be right here. It's a black key. So C, C sharp. And then from C sharp, the half step up is to D. So C sharp up to D. D, D sharp, E, F. Here's F. This is F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and B, and so forth. The white keys are the natural notes. The black keys are the sharps. Now, let's see what the key of C looks like on the keyboard. Okay, hang on just a second. Let's get this up here a little higher. Okay, so I'm going to write in the notes for the key of C, and they're all natural notes. We'll start with C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. You can see that I only used the white keys and not the black keys. No sharps, no flats. What's really cool about the key of C is that it's really easy to see the pattern of the major scale, any major scale. So every major scale has the same exact pattern. So we're going to discover what it is. First of all, there are 8 notes in every major scale. Okay, so I'm going to number the notes 1 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, let's erase that and erase that. Okay. Now these notes are organized in a pattern of whole steps and half steps, and it's really easy to see the whole steps and half steps on a keyboard. So we're going to see where the whole steps and half steps fall in a major scale. So from C to D, we know that's a whole step because there's a note in between. So 1 to 2 is a whole step, so we're good there. D to E is a whole step, okay? There's a note in between. Now if you look here between E and F, there's no black key in between E and F. It goes straight from E to F. So from E to F is actually a half step. So I'm going to mark that down here with a little caret symbol, okay? F to G, it's a whole step because there's a key in between. G to A, also a whole step. A to B, a whole step, and B to C, again, just like E to F, there's no black key in here, so B to C is a half step. So in our major scale, we have half steps between the 3rd and 4th notes and the 7th and 8th notes. Okay, there's another cool pattern that we have in a major scale, and that's we can divide the 8-note pattern into 2. So I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to draw a line right here. So now we have 2 4-note patterns. We call these 4-note patterns tetrachords. And the pattern that we see in this tetrachord, the first tetrachord, is a whole step, half step. Look at the second tetrachord. It's the same exact pattern. Whole step, half step. And it's this pattern that distinguishes the major scale. It has a nice balanced sound. Now we're going to use this major scale pattern to work out the key signature that has 1 sharp. Okay. So we know that the key signature of C major has 0 sharps, but which one has just 1? Well, the next key signature, the one that has 1 sharp, is 5 notes away from the key signature that has 0 sharps. So we're going to count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our 5th note happens to be G. So G is going to be the next scale in our circle of fifths, in our circle of scales. All right, so now we're going to write the notes for the G scale. Okay, so I'm just going to take away all these things here. Now, the first 4 notes of the G scale are really easy. Let's put our pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, half step between 3 and 4. And then the next tetrachord, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, our half step between 7 and 8. And we're going to take this pattern and put it to our G scale and discover where the sharps are and what their names are. Okay, so I'm going to write the numbers down here first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here are our 8 scale degrees, and we're going to look at our whole steps and half steps. From G to A, it's supposed to be a whole step, and we can see right here it is because there is a key here. A to B is supposed to be a whole step, and we know that it is because there's already a key there. B to C is supposed to be a half step, and it is because we notice there is no key in here. So G, A, B, C is good. Now we're going to find the rest of the notes in our G scale. So note 5 is going to be a D. Now it has to be a whole step, so C, half step, D. So that works. The 6th note is going to be an E, and let's see if it's a whole step away from D. D, half step, and that makes a whole step. There's E. And now we come to a problem right here, because E to F is a half step. And we need, from 6 to 7, we need a whole step here. So in order to make from here to the 7th note a whole step, we have to raise this F to an F sharp to make it a whole step. So it's half step and a half step. So we're going to use this note to show the next note, which would be F sharp. Here's F, half step higher is F sharp. And then from 7 to 8, we need a half step, and we will check from F sharp down up a half step to G, and that indeed is a half step. So we look at our key of G, 8 notes, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, and we have white notes, which are the natural notes, and 1 sharp, which is F sharp. The key of G has 1 sharp, which is F sharp.